Hello, you're welcome. Welcome particularly to this channel. Welcome to this video. I am Dr. Olayinka Akanle. I'm a lecturer in the university. I'm a consultant. I'm a life coach. I'm a public speaker. I manage relationships. On this channel, I do a lot of stuff. I give lectures, I give talks, I give insights, I counsel on a number of issues. And all these stuff I do here, you can cluster them within sociology, research, relationship, migration, project management, and achievement of life goals. So you're welcome onto this channel once again. So if it's your first time of coming in contact with my channel, with my content, I'm very excited to have you here. Kindly subscribe to this channel and press the notification button so that you might be alerted anytime I drop new content. I've done a lot of content on this channel and more are on the way. Kindly like, share, and comment. It's very important. So if you are a return viewer but you've not subscribed, kindly subscribe to this channel. And I want to encourage you, if you have subscribed, kindly stay tuned for beneficial content that will assist you in achieving your life goals effectively. So today I will be talking about a very central issue. I've done a lot of videos on migration on this channel, which you can check. I've done videos on migration and development, what you must consider before you relocate and migrate abroad, how you can succeed abroad, gender-based violence abroad, how you can protect yourself. I've done quite well. So today I'll be talking about key factors you must note in deciding to relocate or migrate abroad. Key factors to note in deciding to migrate or relocate abroad. Migration is a very interesting experience or a process or a reality. On this channel, I don't discourage people from migrating, yet I do not encourage them unnecessarily to migrate. What I do is to give you sufficient strategic information to build your capacity so that you can make informed decisions when you want to migrate, or when you have people that want to migrate, or when you have migrated, or when you want to cancel people. So my interest in this video is to expose key factors that need to be noted, noteworthy key factors when making migration decisions. Number one key factor is age. Age is very important when people are deciding to migrate. How old are you at the point you want to migrate? If you are too young, it's not too good. If you are too old or you are already tending towards somebody we can describe as old or not so young, then you have to be careful. For example, are you about to be 40 or are you 40 and above? Then you have to be more careful if you want to migrate at that point. I'm not saying you cannot migrate at 40 and above, but you have to be more careful. You have to be more strategic. You have to be more analytical. You have to ask yourself very fundamental questions why you want to migrate at that age. At that age, you must have been stable to some extent. And even if you are not stable, you have to consider how many years do you have till you become old abroad to be able to contribute to that economy and to you be able to draw a new course in your migration decision, in your migration life pattern. So at that age, how many years do you have to cope over there, to adjust over there? Because migration needs a lot of adjustment. You need to make a lot of adjustment after relocation. More particularly, researchers have shown, don't forget, before I drop this content, I did a lot of research interviewing people. And I've done a lot of research on migration for many years. I've published books, I've published chapters, I've published articles on these migration issues. I just like to distill some of the factors I've discovered over the years in this video in a handy way so that you're able to benefit from it. So I have also migrated across borders over different time periods in my life. So I'm bringing these research findings, my own experience and interactions. I have mentees abroad all over the world that we still discuss. I have friends all over the world that we discuss on these issues. So this video is not just maybe on common sense. It's heavily, driven by knowledge and research and data. It takes an average of 7 to 10 years to settle overseas. And that's even if you migrate legally. If you migrate illegally or irregularly, or you migrated on a wrong visa, or you migrate on a wrong visa, that you may not even be able to settle forever. You may remain an illegal immigrant forever, or for too long, that you may not be able to settle at all. So, but even if you settle, if you relocate legally, professionally, or for academics or for different reasons, it may take you between 7 and 10 years. So if you migrate at old age or too mature of age, then it may be difficult for you to really be able to take advantage of migration or to be able to optimize opportunities of migration. So age is a very important factor. Another factor I want to mention is your career trajectory. What is your career trajectory? What level are you now in career? Are you a very senior level officer where you are? Or a mid-level official with a prosperous career? Or with the prospect of becoming very senior or very prosperous on that career line? So if you are a stable or a burgeoning, a successful career person, you must be careful relocating. So you must be very strategic, you must be very analytical, you must be very convinced and persuaded that what you are leaving behind will not be more than what you want to go and benefit over there. Your cost-benefit analysis must be very strong, must be very objective and very detailed. Consider your career status at this point in time. Because you must know, migration or relocation is not a magic wand. It doesn't solve all your problems. Migration has its own problems, its own complications. So you must bear in mind that migration is not a magic solution to all your problems. Therefore, you have to do strong cost-benefit analysis between where you are now and where you are going, and you must do a lot of research so that you don't make the wrong move. Another point I want to mention is that if you have to sell all you've got, I think you have to be careful. We've seen many people who migrated and before they finally moved, they sold everything. Sold cars, sold houses, sold prosperous businesses, and they simply entered destination countries where they're migrating to with absolutely nothing. There's nothing wrong in starting all over. Don't get me wrong, you can start all over, but you must be careful what you are disposing compared to what you want to go and get. Because when you go there, you are starting all over. And even when you get their destination, if you make money or a number of things over there, if you're not careful, it may not be as much as what you disposed when you were moving. That's why many migrants, some of them go into depression, into frustration, because they simply get there and realize what they left behind. It can simply be termed abandoning wealth for scarcity. So you have to know your current prosperity scenario and link that with what you. So that means you have to research very extensively, and you don't have to be desperate. You have to carefully do your homework, your groundwork, get counsel over there. So if you have to dispose everything, if you don't have anything, if you are essentially at ground zero, he who is down fears no fall. That's what they say. He who is down fears no fall. That's a common saying. So if you've got nothing at origin where you are, why not? If you don't have any career prospect, why not move? My advice would be you may move with that, because you are not leaving anything behind anyway. So, but if you have to sell everything, you are already a millionaire or almost a billionaire where you are, and you want to dispose all of those just to live. And it's not as if you are being forced, you are being persecuted. It's not as if your life is at risk. Then you have to think twice. But if your life is at risk, you are being persecuted, going into exile, relocating is the only way you can save your life, why not? But if that's not the situation, then you have to be very careful. Another factor is if you are married, or you are about to be married, or if you have strong relationship where you are in terms of heterosexual relationship, and you have to abandon your spouse, your family, your children, without being sure of when they're going to come to join you over there, then you have to be mindful because your relationships are very important. So if you have a family, you have a strong relationship, you have and you don't heterosexually, and you just want to relocate like that without having plans of them joining you, without legal opportunities to reunite, you have to be very careful because it can break your marriage, it can break your relationships, it can destroy your plans in terms of heterosexual relationship. There are many cases, too many cases of families being destroyed on the account of migration, on poorly guided migration. So if your family is important, if your family is important to you, if your partnership is important to you, and you want to relocate, you must be sure that you have opened a window of legal opportunities for relocation. That is very important. Another point is that if you have to migrate illegally, please don't. Because ultimately, you may not be able to take advantage of migration. Legality is very key. Where you are going is a very organized society that everything depends on papers. So if you don't have the right papers, it may be difficult for you to be successful over there. So I do not support illegal migration. Also, if you want to migrate on wrong visas, I don't encourage that. Because if you travel on visit visa and you want to go and stay there permanently, it will be difficult for you to regularize. And if you want to regularize, you may have to go into things that will expose you to a lot of risk, deportation, imprisonment. Many countries now do not deport until you are imprisoned. Even if you are caught, they will not just send you back home. They first put you in prison, and also they blacklist you. It may not be a very good experience. So be analytical, analyze very well is very important, and be very careful. Be brutally honest with yourself and be realistic. Like I'm saying, you have to be realistic. Don't be desperate. Don't just join bandwagon and say because everybody is relocating. This is season. This century, this decade is a decade of massive migration. Yet you have to be careful. You have to be personal in your decision. Be clear on your migration goals. Why are you migrating? What are the goals in the short and the long run? What are your tactics? What are your strategies? Then I usually encourage people, try scholarship route. If you have degrees or if you have education, try to win scholarship. I did a video on how to win scholarship and study abroad. It's the best way to migrate by my own experience. Except you are being transferred. If you're a professional, your organization is transferring you to another country. Why not? That's very good. You are moving as a professional, and your organization is going to take care of you over there. So if you are being transferred as a professional, well, very good. But if you are not being transferred on account of work or service, and if you have the necessary certificate, maybe you have a first degree, you have a master's, or you have even a basic education, you can look out for scholarship. Then you will migrate like a VVVIP, very important personality, even like a diplomat. You will be sponsored there, you build capacity over there, you get certificate. Easily you become regularized, become a citizen if you want. So try scholarship. I recommend scholarship. I say now, just be careful. You can watch that video that I did. It's on this channel on how to win scholarship and study abroad. It's very important. I love migration quite a lot. It opens opportunities for you, but you must know that it's not all rosy. It's not always, grass is not always greener at the other side, especially if you don't carefully study the situation. Like if you don't follow these key factors that I've mentioned, it can be very challenging abroad there. And don't break your relationships. Your relationships are your networks. They are very important. Relationship at home and abroad. Make sure you build strong networks for you. And if you travel on a visa, make sure you protect the condition of that visa. Don't break the conditions of the visa because you may be stranded in the long run. It may be impossible for you to get regularized because they will use it against you in the future in that system. They have records. So if you study your visa very well and note the conditions on that visa and make sure you don't break the conditions. Otherwise, you may be stranded. Also importantly, another factor is that you must be ready physically, mentally, socially, and financially before you migrate. Don't just jump on the next available plane. Talk to yourself, get counseling, do research, be open-minded. Many migrants are never open-minded. Be open-minded to receive information, to receive guidance, to be mentally ready. It can be mentally draining and straining and stressful when you are migrating. And I'm telling you this of a fact. Be mentally settled, be socially settled, be financially settled, and be ready before you migrate. This, because when you get there, this is your mental, social, financial preparedness. Is what you will rely on over there. Your preparedness in terms of mental, social, financial is very important when you get over there. You will run into some turbulence, but if you are mentally, socially, and financially prepared, then you'll be able to weather the turbulence and you'll be able to take advantage. Then the God factor is very important. Why not pray? Seek the face of God. Let God direct you. Let God lead you. The supreme power of prayer is very important. The God factor is key. In all, let God be your guide. Let God speak to you. Let God direct you. Let God order your step. You know, if you rely on God, on your spiritual strength, your path will be made straight. Every crookedness in your migration path will be made straight. So be very careful and be ready to endure when you get there. It may not be so easy from beginning. You may have to endure. You may need to get new certificates. Usually when you migrate, except for that kind of scholarship or transfer from office, you may have to start all over. The degrees, the qualification, the competence you are coming into that country with may not be readily suitable. You may have to go and learn new skills, get new certificates, get new trainings, get new education. Adjustment in terms of psychology, socially, family may take some time. So be ready to endure. Be ready to weather the storm. Be prepared that when you get there, you may be unsettled, but be ready to endure. Be prepared to endure. Be prepared and say, no matter what, if you have followed all the combination of factors I've listed, then you should be fine. But be ready to endure. There are positive advantages of migration, and there are the negatives. But I want you to take advantage of the positives, the benefits. I don't want you to fall into the troubles of migration. That's why I've released this video. I hope you've been blessed. You've benefited from this video today. So thank you very much for staying tuned. Kindly subscribe. Kindly stay tuned. Please share this content on your networks. Let others also benefit from it. Drop your comments. I will sincerely respond to your comment. And try as much as possible to like. Until I see you in the next video, you will succeed.